Hey, how's it going, guys? Man, I know it's been a while. Got kind of busy with life and stuff, and then I wasn't really planning on it, but I ended up taking a break from YouTube, and for a while I wasn't really in the right frame of mind to make videos and stuff, but now I feel like it's time to come back. I've missed it, and I missed a lot of you guys, so I've tried to keep up with a lot of your videos, but sometimes it's been hard, so I apologize if I, haven't really been active on here. But I've been kind of thinking of like different things and stuff. I want to kind of like do new things on my channel. I want to go through my entire record collection again, just because it's been, probably like 3 or 4 years since I started my channel, and since I initially have done that. And I'm so behind on records that I've bought over like the last year, maybe 2 years, that I haven't shown because I get behind and I kind of move on and forget to show those, or kind of lose track on which ones I've shown and stuff. So I want to do that, and I've got some other ideas. Want to kind of talk about other things related to life and stuff. So anyways. This is just going to be like a what's been spinning video, what I've been listening to the last month or so. So yeah, with that being said, let's just get started. I've got a little stack of CDs right here. First one, it's an all-time classic. This is Candlemas, Nightfall. And recently just picked this up on CD. I did have this on vinyl already, but I wanted to listen to this more often, like when I'm driving and stuff. So man, this is just such a killer album. My favorite Candlemas album. I'm sure a lot of people would agree, and with great reason. It's just a perfect album from start to finish, and I really like Epicus Demicus Metallicus. That was my first introduction to Candlemas, but once I heard Messiah Markland's vocals on Bewitched, when I first saw the music video, I was like, it was just uncomparable, And I really do love Johann's vocals on Epicus, but there's just something about Messiah Markland's voice that really fits their style and just kind of like sets them apart, in my opinion. But yeah, I love the lyrical themes on this album. They take from a lot of like biblical stories and stuff like that, and just tales of like good and evil and whatnot. But yeah, just awesome. I'm sure most of you guys know this album, but yeah, it's a good one. All right, next one. It's a CD that my friend introduced me to. One of my good friends that my best friend since I was right out of high school, and he was still in high school, but he has a traveling job now, so he's always on the road, and we're always sending each other texts with like different bands to check out, different albums and stuff. So that's one thing that he's never lost his passion for, is music and metal. So he sent me this one, and then as soon as I listened to the first song he sent me, I had to go buy the CD just because it was that good. But this is a band called Witchcraft, and this is called Legend. He sent me the song Ghost's House, which is a really killer song, and this isn't their newest album. This came out in 2012. I think they have at least one more album after this. I'm not really familiar with any of their other discography, but Witchcraft is a stoner metal band. Not really doom, just more on the stoner side of things, but they do have that kind of like mystical aspect about them, not so much the lyrical themes, but just the music itself. Yeah, there's something about it. But intro song Deconstruction, super catchy. But like a lot of their stuff is catchy, but it's not like simple in song structure and like generic or anything like that. It's just really good. And then the last track, Dead End, that's freaking killer. But awesome album. I'll leave a link so you guys can check this band out as well as the others. Alright, moving on and shifting styles like normal on my channel. I've got a few indie rock albums here. This is a band called Ratboys. They are from Chicago, and my wife and I actually went and saw this band play. It was back in July now, it's been a while, but they were freaking killer live. Just really good indie rock, and as much as I hate that term, just because of how much of an umbrella term that is, but I don't know. They draw influence from a lot of different styles: alternative rock, a little bit of like blues and country with like some slide guitar, even a little bit of like trumpets in some of their songs and stuff. So they definitely mix it up, but really cool stuff. My favorite song is definitely not the title track, the intro track, Molly, and there's a couple others on here, Control and Crying About the Planets. Really good songs, but anyways, I'll leave a link for you guys to check that band out. I'm sure not everybody's gonna like that, but if you guys want to check out something new, they're pretty awesome. And then this next band I've got 2 CDs by. This has been like my go-to. I don't know, there's something about them, I don't know what it is, it just like drew me in, and I can't like stop listening to them. They're awesome. But they're a band called Looming, and this is their latest album called Seed. It came out in 2017 on No Sleep Records, and they're another kind of indie rock band, and they're also from Illinois, not Chicago like Ratboys, but I forget where they're from, but I know they're from Illinois. Just a simple little digipack, the sleeve style ones that I don't really care for, but it's cool. I like the artwork on it. And then this is their debut album called Nail Biter. This came out in 2015, also on No Sleep Records, and yeah, this is my favorite out of the 2. And I came across this band kind of on a whim because you know, I follow different labels and stuff, and when they have sales, like this label has sales sometimes where it's like $2, $3 CDs and then like $5 vinyls. So I picked up, you know, I'll go through and I'll look at them all, and if anything grabs my attention, like as far as the artwork goes and stuff, you know, I'll check it out, and they definitely grabbed my attention. So I picked up a couple of their CDs, these 2, and I also picked up Seed on vinyl as well. Unfortunately, Nail Biter was already sold out, but I did pick up this one on vinyl. So yeah, just really unique vocals and really unique song structures, and just the way that they, you know, it's different. It's not your typical, just generic indie rock. A little bit on the emo side sometimes, but I don't want to scare anybody away. It's really good music. All right, moving on. I've got a little stack of records here now. First one, going back to some metal here, and another stone cold classic. This is Voivod, Killing Technology. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this is one of my all-time favorite albums, and it's usually my go-to Voivod album, and lately I've been in a Voivod mood, mostly because I saw them play live for the first time probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and man, that was awesome. I was so glad I finally got to see them, because last time they came through Southern California like 2 or 3 years ago, I wasn't able to go see them because of work, so I was super stoked to go see these guys, and really can't believe how good they sound live still. You know, they were awesome, and I don't think I have to say much about this album, really. Killing Technology, really awesome stuff. And actually my best friend that I was talking about who showed me Witchcraft, he's the one who got me this for my birthday last year, so thank you, Chris, man, that's awesome. Alright, next one. I can't remember if I've showed this band or not yet. I don't think I have, but I've had this record for like 6 months or so since it came out, but this is Smolder with Times of Obscene Evil and Wild Daring. Yeah, sorry, that's a long title. But yeah, this is a Canadian doom metal band, female fronted, and just it's more of that like epic doom style. It's got a lot of like traditional heavy metal influence, like the proto power metal stuff from the 80s, like Sirith Ungol and like Manila Road, and that kind of has like that vibe, but it's combined with like, you know, that epic doom style. So yeah, it's awesome. Kind of operatic on the vocal department, and super killer catchy riffs. I mean, this is just a riff machine of an album. So if the, you know, artwork doesn't already grab your attention, then go check this band out, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. And I'll leave a link to, I think, what's the name of the song on here? It's called Bastard Steel, that's my favorite song. And then Voyage of the Sun Chaser, it's a little bit of more of a slower burn of a song, but it's probably my second favorite song on the album. And yeah, actually the vocalist, I'm trying to remember what her name is now. She's one of the reviewers on Banger TV, so maybe you guys have heard of her before. I forgot her name, but yeah, this is her band. She's just a vocalist, or not just a vocalist, but she does vocals on it. Anyway, killer stuff from Canada. All right, and then next band, I've got actually another Canadian band here. Actually, that's funny. I didn't even think about that. The first band had Voivod, so I got 3 Canadian bands in a row. That was a total accident. But this is a Canadian death metal band of the new school variety. Actually, they're of the old school variety, but they are a newer band. But this is Tomb Mold. I think I've shown these guys at least once before, but this is not their debut, but it's their debut on 20 Bucks Spin. Manner of Infinite Forms came out 2017, I want to say. And this is kind of like the album that put them on the map. Really, really good album. It's like I said, it's old school death metal. And this is the newest one that actually just came out this year. It's called Planetary Clairvoyance. And man, this album is awesome. This is really the album that got me into them. And previously, you know, I heard all the hype about them, you know, around this album and stuff. I did listen to this probably about a year ago or so. And I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't pick it up. It didn't like grab me for some reason at the time. But this one really grabbed me. And I went back and listened to this again and appreciated it a lot more, so I ended up picking up the other one too. But this is the album I think is worth checking out for sure. Like I said, old school death metal kind of have that like cavernous production a little bit, and the vocals, they're probably not the most unique. They're just like super, super deep as far as the growling goes. But the instrumentation is really what grabs me and like keeps me interested on this band. So yeah, killer stuff, and just super like raw, organic, natural. You know, it doesn't sound all like fake and plastic and triggered like a lot of the newer death metal stuff is. But yeah, really killer stuff. All right, and then shifting gears once again for the last couple records. This is a band out of Belgium. My wife and I actually went and saw this band play earlier this year, like I think back in March or maybe the beginning of April. But this is a band called Slow Crush, and they are a shoegaze band. So if you guys are fans of any shoegaze, I'm sure you'll dig this. But really, really good stuff. This album is called Aurora, and this is actually their debut album. Came out on Holy Roller Records last year, actually 2018. If I would have discovered this last year, it definitely would have made probably my top 5 albums for sure. But anyways, it was a little late to the party, but really, really good record. And you know, I'll leave a link so you guys can check them out if you want to. All right, and then the next one, this is probably another one of my kind of recent favorite bands. I got into this band about a year ago. They're called Espen The Witch. This is their debut album called Violet Cries, and their latest album, which is Nowhere, was you know, on my like top list or whatever last year. That's a really, really killer album. Total shift in, not like shift in style, but they've had a shift in style over the years. So like if you listen to this and then their latest album, there's definitely a difference in style. This came out in 2010 on Matador Records. This one was so I watched like some like interviews with them and stuff, and they were talking about like in the beginning phases of their band, they were a little less rock oriented, but kind of wanted to head that direction. They weren't as proficient with all their instruments. So like this album's got more of like drum machines or whatever as far as the drums go. Still has guitar and stuff, but it's a little more like, has a little more synth and stuff in the background. As far as their style goes, I guess they're kind of like a goth punk, post-punk. You know, it's got a lot of influence from that, but definitely in a more modern way, you know, or a more modern take on it. It doesn't sound like, you know, 80s post-punk, that's for sure. And then they're like newer stuff, it's like almost like doom to me anyways. If you listen to the album Nowhere, their latest one, it's like it just sounds like kind of like doom, you know. It's pretty close. It's not as, I wouldn't say it's metal, but it's pretty close to it. At least atmospheric rock or whatever. Anyways, we're just splitting hairs talking about genres and stuff, but really killer stuff. Favorite song off this one is probably the second to last track, which is Humanides. I might be completely mispronouncing that, but that one and Marching Song. So yeah, Espen The Witch, and I think I forgot to mention they are from the UK. So yeah, I just wanted to show some music, you know. I told you guys, you know, I've missed making videos and, you know, connecting with some of you guys, so take care until next time, guys. Thanks for watching.